When people hear about high uric acid or gout, their first instinct is almost always the same. I need to stop eating meat and switch to vegetables. It sounds logical, even healthy. But what if that belief is actually putting you at greater risk? This common assumption has become one of the biggest hidden traps in modern nutrition. Many people strictly avoid meat and seafood, thinking they're protecting their bodies, while unknowingly consuming vegetables that are extremely high in purines, the very compounds that raise uric acid levels. The result, instead of improving their condition, silently worsen. What makes this even more concerning is how healthy these foods appear. They're often labeled as clean, natural, and beneficial, which creates a false sense of security. Meanwhile, uric acid continues to build up in the body, setting the stage for painful gout attacks and long-term damage. So, the real problem isn't just what you avoid, it's what you replace it with. Without the right knowledge, even the healthiest-looking plate can become harmful. That's why understanding the truth behind your diet is the first and most critical step toward protecting your health. To truly understand the danger of high uric acid, imagine this simple scenario. Think of your body like a glass of water and uric acid like salt being dissolved into it. At first, everything works perfectly. Add a small amount of salt and it dissolves completely. Add a little more and it still disappears into the water. But there's a limit. Once you exceed that limit, the salt can no longer dissolve. It begins to settle at the bottom, forming visible crystals. This is exactly what happens inside your body. When uric acid levels rise beyond what your blood can safely dissolve, it starts to crystallize. These tiny needle-like urate crystals don't just sit still. They travel through your bloodstream and deposit themselves in different parts of your body. And here's where the real problem begins. These microscopic crystals act like sharp shards, irritating tissues, triggering inflammation, and damaging whatever they come into contact with. You won't always feel it immediately, but over time, the buildup becomes unavoidable. Understanding this process helps explain why controlling uric acid isn't optional, it's essential. Because once those crystals form, the damage has already begun. Many people believe that high uric acid only causes joint pain, but that's a dangerous oversimplification. In reality, it can affect your entire body in ways you might never expect. First, it attacks your joints. Uric acid crystals accumulate in areas like the big toe ankles and knees, causing intense inflammation. During a gout attack, the pain can be so severe that even the slightest touch, like a bedsheet brushing against your skin, feels unbearable. Second, it damages your blood vessels. These crystals can scratch and irritate the inner lining of your arteries, leading to inflammation. Over time, this creates the perfect environment for plaque buildup, increasing your risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. Third, it silently harms your kidneys. Your kidneys are responsible for filtering waste, including uric acid. But when levels are too high, crystals can form inside the kidneys, leading to kidney stones, blockages, and eventually reduced kidney function. Finally, it disrupts your metabolism. High uric acid has been linked to insulin resistance, which makes it harder for your body to regulate blood sugar, raising your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This isn't just a joint issue, it's a full-body threat. Here's something that might surprise you. Not all vegetables are safe when it comes to uric acid. In fact, some of the most commonly praised healthy vegetables are loaded with purine. Take mushrooms, for example, especially dried mushrooms. While they add rich flavor to meals, they are among the highest purine-containing plant food. Drying them concentrates these compounds even further, making them even more problematic. Then there's asparagus, often considered a superfood. Despite its vitamins and fiber, it contains extremely high levels of purines, sometimes even more than certain types of seafood. On top of that, it contains oxalates, which can interfere with uric acid excretion. Seaweed is another hidden source. Frequently used in soups and light dishes, dried seaweed can carry a surprisingly high purine load, especially when consumed regularly. Sprouts, such as pea shoots, are also on the list. Fresh, tender, and nutritious looking, but surprisingly high in purines. Even cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, while beneficial in many ways, can contribute to uric acid buildup if eaten excessively. And finally, spinach, moderate in purines but high in oxalates, can worsen the problem when consumed in large amounts. The key takeaway: healthy doesn't always mean safe for everyone. Now that we've exposed the hidden risks, let's shift to something practical. What should you eat? The good news is that some vegetables don't just avoid the problem, they actively help your body eliminate excess uric acid. First, cucumbers. They are incredibly low in purines and naturally alkaline, which helps balance your body's internal environment. More importantly, cucumbers are rich in water and potassium, which support kidney function and promote urination. The more efficiently you urinate, the more uric acid your body can flush out. Second, Napa cabbage. This humble vegetable is often overlooked, but it's one of the safest choices for people with high uric acid. It contains almost no purines and helps alkalize urine, making it easier for uric acid to dissolve and exit the body. It's light, easy to digest, and ideal for daily meals. Third, water spinach. Not only is it low in purines, but it also contains soluble fiber that supports digestion and detoxification. It acts like a gentle internal cleanser, helping remove waste more efficiently. The goal isn't to eat less, it's to eat smarter. Choosing the right vegetables can make a real difference. Most people assume fruit is always safe after all. It's natural, right? But when it comes to uric acid, the story is more complicated. The problem isn't purines in fruit, it's fructose, a type of natural sugar. When you consume high amounts of fructose, your liver has to process it. During this process, your body uses energy molecules called ATP. As ATP is broken down, it produces compounds that directly increase uric acid levels. In other words, eating too much fruit can actually trigger your body to produce more uric acid from the inside. But it doesn't stop there. High fructose intake also contributes to insulin resistance, which reduces your kidney's ability to excrete uric acid efficiently. This creates a double effect: more production and less elimination. Fruits like grapes, bananas, lychees, and longans are especially high in sugar and should be eaten in moderation. Even fruits like oranges and tangerines can contribute indirectly due to how their sugars are metabolized. The key is balance. You don't need to avoid fruit entirely, but portion control is critical. And one more thing, fruit juice is even worse because it delivers concentrated sugar without fiber. This is one of the most confusing questions for many people. Should you completely eliminate meat if you have high uric acid? The answer is no, but you do need to be strategic. Meat is an important source of high-quality protein that your body needs to maintain muscle mass, especially as you age. Completely avoiding it can lead to weakness, muscle loss, and a weakened immune system. The real issue isn't meat itself, it's the type, quantity, and preparation. First, avoid high purine animal products at all costs. This includes organ meats like liver and kidneys, concentrated broths, processed meats like sausages, and certain seafood such as dried shrimp and shellfish. These are extremely high in purines and can quickly spike uric acid level. Second, choose safer options like lean cuts of pork, beef, chicken, or duck. These fall into the moderate purine category and can be consumed in small portions around 50 grams per day when your condition is stable. Finally, cooking method matters more than most people realize. Boiling or steaming meat allows some purines to dissolve into the water, reducing intake. Frying, on the other hand, keeps everything concentrated. So yes, you can eat meat, but only if you do it wisely. If you're trying to control uric acid, one of the biggest concerns is getting enough protein without making your condition worse. This is where eggs and dairy products become incredibly valuable. Eggs are one of the cleanest protein sources available. They contain extremely low levels of purines, making them a safe and effective option for daily consumption. Whether boiled, steamed, or lightly cooked, eggs provide essential amino acids that support muscle maintenance, especially important as you age. For most people, 1 to 2 eggs per day is both safe and beneficial. Milk and dairy products are even more impressive. They contain almost no purines at all, which means they won't contribute to uric acid buildup. In fact, some studies suggest that dairy may even help reduce uric acid levels by improving excretion. A daily glass of milk, around 250 to 300 milliliters, can be a simple and effective addition to your routine. If you're concerned about cholesterol or weight, low-fat or skim dairy options are excellent alternatives. The key takeaway is this: you don't need to sacrifice protein to protect your health. You just need to choose smarter, cleaner sources. When it comes to lowering uric acid, what you do every day matters just as much as what you eat. 2 simple habits can significantly improve your body's ability to manage and eliminate excess uric acid. The first is regular moderate exercise. Movement helps improve blood circulation and prevents fluid retention, both of which are essential for proper metabolism and waste removal. However, intensity is key. High-intensity workouts can actually backfire by producing lactic acid, which competes with uric acid for excretion. Instead, focus on moderate activities like brisk walking, cycling, swimming, yoga, or Tai Chi. Just 30 minutes a day can make a noticeable difference. The second habit is proper hydration. Drinking enough water is one of the most effective ways to reduce uric acid levels. Water dilutes uric acid in the bloodstream and supports kidney function, making it easier to flush waste out through urine. Aim for at least 2 liters per day or more if you're active or in a hot environment. These habits may seem simple, but consistency is what turns them into powerful tools for long-term health. By now, you've probably realized that managing uric acid isn't about extreme restrictions. It's about making smarter, more informed choices every day. You don't have to eliminate entire food groups or live on a bland, boring diet. Instead, the goal is balance. Replace high purine foods with safer alternatives, control your portions, and pay attention to how your body responds. Small adjustments, like choosing the right vegetables, limiting sugary fruits, or changing how you cook your meals, can have a powerful cumulative effect over time. At the same time, don't underestimate the importance of lifestyle. Staying active and well hydrated supports your body's natural ability to regulate itself. These are simple actions, but when practiced consistently, they can transform your health. Most importantly, remember that this is a long-term journey. There's no quick fix, but there is a clear path forward. With the right knowledge and habits, you can take control of your uric acid levels instead of letting them control you. Start with one small change today and build from there.